Your eyes are lying to you about wealth. Every day, you pass people driving luxury cars, wearing designer clothes, and living in beautiful homes. Your brain quietly labels them as successful. Then you pass someone in a 10-year-old Toyota wearing a plain t-shirt from a department store, and your brain barely notices. But here's what nobody tells you. The first person may be living paycheck to paycheck. The second person may already be a millionaire. The biggest financial illusion isn't how much money people have, it's how much money people want you to think they have. And once you understand why real wealth often looks ordinary, you'll never judge financial success the same way again. Your brain was never designed to measure wealth. It was designed to notice status. For thousands of years, status determined who had the best food, the safest shelter, and the greatest chance of survival. Our brains became experts at spotting visible signals that separated one person from another. That instinct still exists today, except the signals have changed. Instead of hunting skills or social rank, your brain notices luxury cars, expensive watches, oversized homes, designer handbags, and first-class vacations. The problem? None of those things measure wealth. They measure spending. There's an enormous difference. Here's where it gets interesting. Imagine two neighbors. One drives a brand new luxury SUV with a monthly payment of $1,200. The other drives a reliable 8-year-old sedan that's been paid off for years. Most people assume the SUV owner is wealthier. But what if the SUV owner owes $80,000 on the vehicle, carries credit card debt, and saves almost nothing every month? Meanwhile, the neighbor with the older car invests $1,200 every single month instead. From the outside, one looks rich. Behind the scenes, the other is quietly becoming wealthy. Your eyes see spending. Your balance sheet tells a completely different story. And that's the first illusion. But the second illusion is even more expensive. Here's something economists have studied for decades. Humans don't buy many expensive things because they need them. They buy them because other people can see them. This is called conspicuous consumption. It's the tendency to purchase visible symbols of success instead of invisible assets that actually create wealth. Think about it. Almost nobody compliments your investment account. Nobody notices your emergency fund. Nobody congratulates you for maxing out your retirement contributions. But everyone notices the new car, the upgraded kitchen, the designer shoes, the luxury vacation photos. Visible purchases receive immediate social rewards. Investments don't. That's why building wealth often feels emotionally unrewarding in the beginning. You're sacrificing today's recognition for tomorrow's freedom. Now imagine two friends who each receive a $20,000 bonus. The first upgrades their car, buys expensive furniture, and books a luxury vacation. Within a few months, the money is gone. The second quietly invests the same amount into a diversified portfolio. Nothing changes on the outside. They still drive the same car, live in the same house, wear the same clothes. To everyone else, it looks like they wasted the opportunity. But 5 years later, one person has memories and monthly payments. The other has an asset that's been quietly compounding. Here's what makes this trap so powerful. The rewards for spending are immediate. The rewards for investing are invisible until one day they aren't. And that's exactly why so many wealthy people intentionally look ordinary, because they've discovered something that most people never do. Here's something that surprises almost everyone. Many people who become genuinely wealthy eventually stop trying to prove it. Not because they can't afford nice things, because they no longer need those things to signal success. Think about the difference between confidence and validation. Validation comes from other people. Confidence comes from knowing something about yourself that doesn't require anyone else's approval. Money works the same way. When you're still trying to build an identity around wealth, Expensive purchases can feel like evidence that you're succeeding, but once you've built real financial security, the need to broadcast it begins to disappear. That's why so many wealthy people intentionally look ordinary, because they've discovered something that most people never do. Let's run the numbers. Imagine you spend an extra $800 every month upgrading your lifestyle. A more expensive car, a larger home, luxury brands, premium memberships. $800 doesn't sound life-changing, but invested every month for 30 years and an average annual return of 10%, that money could grow to well over $1.8 million. That's the hidden price of looking successful. Not the purchase itself, but everything that money could have become. This is where the real trade-off appears. You're not choosing between an expensive watch and a cheaper one. You're choosing between today's applause and tomorrow's freedom. And once you see that trade-off, it's impossible to unsee it. But there's one final piece of the puzzle that explains why appearances can be so misleading. Here's the irony. The things that create wealth are almost completely invisible. Automatic investments, employer retirement contributions, growing index funds, paid-off debt, cash reserves, low monthly expenses. None of those show up in a photograph. Nobody gets compliments for saying no to an unnecessary upgrade. Nobody notices the vacation you didn't take because you chose to invest instead. Real wealth grows quietly until one day it becomes impossible to ignore. The person who looked ordinary suddenly has options. They can retire earlier, walk away from a stressful job, help their family without borrowing money, start a business, travel without worrying about the credit card bill waiting at home. Meanwhile, the person who spent years looking wealthy often discovers they were financing an image instead of building financial freedom. This doesn't mean you should never enjoy your money, or that every wealthy person lives modestly. The point isn't that expensive things are bad. The point is understanding the order. The wealth comes first, the lifestyle comes second. Reverse that order, and the lifestyle eventually disappears. So the next time you find yourself comparing your life to someone else's, remember this: your eyes can see spending, they cannot see wealth. The people who look the richest aren't always the people with the most money. Sometimes, the richest person in the room is the one nobody notices, because real wealth isn't designed to attract attention. It's designed to create freedom. And freedom rarely needs an audience. Subscribe to The Wealth Logic.